Okay, so what I'm going for in this video is I want to make a funky minimal house track with the main instrument being a drum synth. And the idea is to create the foundational character of the track with the drum synth. So I'm modulating a lot of the parameters. I'm making like a really interesting beat with it, and it's going to fill out the mood of the track and serve as like the basis for where the track goes. Okay, I'm going to get started. What I've got so far is a drum synth rack with all of the different options of drum synth in Ableton loaded into it, such as kick, snare, hi-hat, clap, and cymbal, etc., etc. And then I also have a second instance of the kick loaded in, and the second one has the envelope all the way down, because I'm going to use this one for the bass line, and I don't want the punchiness from an enveloped kick, from a heavily enveloped kick in the bass line. So let's just start by making a straightforward kick and hi-hat beat. Like that. And then I'm going to start putting non-4/4 kick hits in the second kick pad where I took the envelope out to start accentuating the beat and making like a kind of random bass line. And then I'm going to start adjusting the pitch on those baseline kicks, we'll call them. I'm going to create an automation lane for that kick instance and go in here and just start kind of semi-randomly switching the pitch around on each area where I put one of those kicks in. Okay, let's hear that. So it sounds kind of good. Okay, let's get some snares in here. Okay, and then I'm going to add in a few more hi-hats and then modulate the hi-hats a little bit. I'm just going to modulate the decay of the hi-hats. Not a lot, just a little. Maybe like a little increase in the every other beat or so. See how that sounds. You know what else I want to put in is some kicks with almost zero decay, like little clicky sounds. So I'm going to duplicate the kick pad again, and I'm going to bring the decay down to like maybe 3%. And then I'm going to pepper a couple of those in. Okay, let's hear how that sounds. It's not bad. It's coming along. Okay, so next I'm going to duplicate this 4-bar loop and just add in a couple changes in the second instance of the 4-bar loop, like maybe a couple hi-hat rolls, just so it varies a little bit from the first 4-bar loop. I'm going to put a pitch modulation on that hi-hat roll. Let's find that. It's like it's right here. That's all right. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is grab a squelchy percussive top that I made in another project, which is this guy right here. That sounds like this. I just learned how to do that in a video made by a YouTuber named Vol. If you want to learn how to do that, I will link to that tutorial video in the description. So I'm going to just kind of temper this a little bit. It's probably a little bit too much on top of the beat I already made. Sounds really good, but I don't want it to be playing the entire time or take up that much space the entire time. So I'm just going to put an auto filter on it and use an LFO to automate the top end out kind of at random. So we'll change the LFO to random, change the rate to about 3/16, smooth up to 23-ish, and then I'll change the bottom end of that LFO to 60% and apply it to the frequency. So now you can see it's kind of ducking the top frequency out at random. See how that sounds. Okay, so I'm going to add in a bass, but first I need to figure out what key this drum synth bass is in. So let's drop a mixed in key in here. There's other ways to figure out the key. You can just play an instrument next to a sample chromatically until you find the root note, but I got tired of doing that all the time, so I just bought mixed in key recently. It's like $30. It's not bad. It seems like it's really sticking on the A, so I'm going to stick with A minor. Okay, so for bass, I'm going to go with a standard operator. I'm going to do my usual move of putting a little bit of chorus in the second oscillator to give it some donk. I'm going to put a little bit more in the third oscillator. See how it sounds up higher. Just give it a little bit more character. Okay, then the other thing, since the bass in the drum synth is taking up like a large amount of the low end in the track, and I don't want the operator to fight with it, I'm just going to put an EQ on it and take a fair amount of the low end out. And then I'm also going to go the standard route of just generating some random MIDI patterns and see if I find something I like. So we're going to add a minor scale filter, set it to A, and then we're going to grab an MDD snake, set it to A, bring the range down to like the bottom third, and let's just see what we get. I need to pitch that down an octave in the operator. It's pretty cool. Okay, I can work with that for right now. And go ahead and record this to a MIDI track so I can play with it. I'm going to put a randomizer on it to change up a couple of the notes. Maybe put it at like 25-30%. It's a few too many notes. Maybe bring the chance down to like 10%. Okay, it's not bad for now. Maybe I need to get a clap in that drum synth. It's kind of groovy, but a shaker. So I'm just gonna start a shaker with a 16th beat rolling hi-hat and find one that feels like it fits. Sounds nice enough. So next step is I'm going to bring the attack up on that until it sounds like a shaker. Right there. And Then put a little variation in the velocity of the notes. Let's make a ghost kick really quick. Then let's sidechain the shaker to the ghost kick. Okay, so then also on that shaker, I'm going to put a vocoder on it just to bring out the shakiness a little bit, the shakeriness. Hear that subtle difference. It's pretty good. Okay, what's next? What is next? Actually, let's put in a pad. I'm going to go into my folder of some texture samples. Kind of curious about both of those. Let's see how they sound in A. So it's an F, so F sharp G, G sharp A. Doesn't really work. I'm going to try another one. Let's start with filter automation. Put an auto filter on here. And we'll do an LFO and make it like swell, like this. See my hand? So I'm going to change the shape to up, change the rate to 1, and then change the bottom percentage to 30, and map that to the frequency. It's got a lot of bass in it. I want to take some of that out. About like a tantra. Actually, let's do a tantra and a compressor on that. Nah. Sounds pretty good. Let's also compress it to, or sidechain compress it to the ghost kick. Maybe even put that before the tantra. Okay, sick. I want to go ahead and do a vocal next.
California. The white.
I want you to get what you see. Let my kisses taste like I got nothing to hide until the morning light.
Okay, that's a little attitude-y, but I think it could be fun chopped up. So it's in a G sharp. Let's bring it down to an E. Perfect fifth of the A to match up with our A minor key signature.
I want you to get what you see. Let my kisses. I want you to get what you see. Let my kisses taste like I got nothing to hide until.
And let's chop it. I'm just gonna chop it using the gain automation in clip view. All right, let's hear that.
I want you to get what you see. Kisses like nothing.
I'm happy with that. How about a synth? I'm going to drop in a Vital and start looking around for sounds. Let's do this guy. Okay, let's get some automation on that synth. Just going to set the cutoff and resonance to be modulated. Okay, so I'm just going to draw it in and okay, not bad. And then let's put a delay on this as well. I'll just do a 2-beat delay, medium dry wet, low feedback, high pass filter. Pretty good. Let's take a little bit of the lows out of that synth and turn it up a tiny bit. Sick. Okay, I have an idea for the breakdown. I think I want to take the pad and turn it into a 7th chord, an inverted 7th chord. So I'm going to do the C, an E, and a G, and then drop them each down an octave so it's inverted. And then I want to take the LFO and the Tantra off. See how that sounds.
I want it what you see. Is this like another and morning? I want it what you see. Is this like another and morning?
Yeah. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think I want to just do like a quick arrangement and then call it a day. Okay, sick. I've got a Rito arrangement here. Yeah, and then I'm going to wrap it up. As usual, hope you guys dug it. Hope you learned something. Feel free to hit me up in the comments. And I'll see you next time.
wanna